So at this point, I'd like to give you the Shamatha Vipassana meditation instruction. It's also called Mindfulness Awareness Meditation. So first, when you sit down, run through the points of posture, your seat as flat and comfortable as possible, not tilting. Your legs folded comfortably in front of you. And your torso relaxed and upright. The main point is that the front of your body is open and not crunched or slumped. Let the heart area be very open. And the hands are resting, palms down on your thighs. The eyes are open. The eye gaze is slightly downward, about 4 to 6 feet in front of you. And the mouth is slightly open. Then become aware of your breath as it goes out, your ordinary breath. Your breath goes out and comes in, but there's more emphasis on the outwardness. Letting the breath expand outward, having a sense of touching the breath as it goes out and dissolves into the space. Relaxing outward with the breath. So without struggle, just as best you can, be right here with the breath as it expands outward. Just keep coming back to that breath. Over and over again, just simply and in a very relaxed way, just keep coming back. As thoughts arise in your mind, continually arising, thoughts coming and coming again and again, and just as soon as you notice, acknowledge those thoughts in a very relaxed and non-judgmental way by saying to yourself, thinking. And come back again to the out-breath. Relaxing outward with the out-breath. The thoughts and emotions can become very solid. But just take the attitude that they're like clouds in a vast sky. And when you notice that you're thinking, acknowledge that with a very relaxed and gentle attitude. Just say thinking and let those clouds dissolve back into the sky. Just sitting here, breathing, relaxing your body and mind. Regarding the thoughts just as clouds in a large, vast sky. If your body begins to hurt, don't struggle with that. Maybe sit with it a little longer than you might usually to just feel where the discomfort is. Rather than struggling, you can take the resting posture by putting up your knees and just holding your knees. And you can sit that way for a while until you feel ready to resume the sitting posture of the legs folded in front of you. So this is very much a practice of no struggle, a practice of relaxing your body and your mind. Just being here with the immediacy of your experience. Sometimes we give the instruction, touch and go. Touch the breath as it goes out and let it go. Touch the thoughts with the label thinking and let them go. Just again and again, a very light touch, a very light letting go. Touch and go. This is not a practice of getting rid of thoughts, but rather of gradually, over time, seeing their transparency, seeing that they're not all that solid. So don't try to struggle against the thoughts. Instead, just when you realize you're thinking, be very relaxed, just touch them and let them go. No struggle, just relaxing. Relax the mind, relax the body. Touch and go. To the best of your ability, just keep returning to the out-breath. In terms of bodhicitta, this practice of shamatha vipassana, mindfulness awareness practice, is very much the ground for causing that seed of compassion and openness that's within us, causing it to grow and flourish, to flower. So even though the shamatha vipassana practice is not commonly considered a bodhicitta practice as such, nevertheless, it's very crucial to this practice. When we do specific bodhicitta practices on unlimited friendliness and compassion, such as the aspiration practices that we'll be doing, those are specifically bodhicitta practices. But when we sit and do the shamatha vipassana practice, there's actually no better way to train in unlimited friendliness and compassion than this. We sit here and we're so close to our mind as it goes on and on and on, and our emotions can become extremely solid and stuck and painful, and the mind can talk so much that we think we can't stand it, and we have memories, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on. We all sit here looking like these statues of Buddhas, but actually it's like a madhouse in here. So the point is to begin to see the illusory quality of this madhouse. This is a real journey. This is your life's journey. This isn't something that happens fast, because we're actually talking about the evolution of consciousness. From the beginningless time, the human species has been caught in static, fixed thinking, and it has affected our bodies and our hearts and a sense of how we concretize and conceptualize everything. It's just part of how we proceed. And we're talking about an evolution into a much more fluid and open-ended way of thinking and of being, which is to say, beginning to realize the true nature of our being and of all creation, and some sense of the two beginning to merge and join, rather than that we have separated ourselves out and think of ourselves as isolated and separate. So it's a big job. Some people might even say it's asking too much. Think of it. You have a lifetime. Even if you live to be 100 years old, it's really a very short time. So why not spend it undergoing this process of evolution, of opening the mind and heart, connecting with your true nature, rather than getting better and better at fixating, grasping, hardening, freezing, closing down. And so really, we do have that choice. And fortunately, there's this whole body of teachings and practices which support the choice towards wanting to be alive rather than frozen and cut off. So remember, when we're practicing, that it is a practice of cultivating unlimited friendliness towards yourself. So when you get harsh with yourself, when you start criticizing yourself, when you're into a struggle, just remember and lighten up. It's not like a goal you're trying to achieve of no more thoughts or with every out-breath. There's simply a technique which is meant to help you to relax and open your mind so that it can relax into its true state and relax the body, relax the heart. The whole thing could relax and open into its true state, its true nature. It's very much a process of getting to know how we limit ourselves, getting to know how we do shut down and so forth, seeing that compassionately. So don't think that all that discursive thought that you do hour after hour is just going to waste. It's actually getting to know the nature of the mind as it closes down, shuts off, and getting to know your patterns, getting to know your habits. Remember that you're getting to know them with compassionate attitude. So if you find yourself criticizing yourself, just lighten up on that. And so we're taming the mind and training the mind to relax more and more into that open-ended, spacious dimension of mind. The open-ended, spacious dimension, relaxed dimension of our being. So you might have a concept of what you think bodhicitta or openness, what you think that is, but this is somehow training again and again and just relaxing those concepts, let them go, and just trust your experience of all caught up and your experience of relaxation. So in that way, this practice is the means by which gradually people like ourselves can begin to have a more and more ordinary, everyday experience of the openness and spaciousness of our minds. So just let it evolve as it evolves. And don't have it be something you're striving for or think that it's how you're supposed to be. You just are as you are. Relax with that. That's your starting point. Get to know that. So as we practice this time, I'd like to ask you to put special emphasis on the gentleness. Sometimes it helps to take one of the qualities, take a practice period, and just keep in mind gentleness. So when you see harshness, just try your best to lighten up, give yourself a break, have a little humor, some sense of gentleness about the whole thing. And during this meditation, I may say a few words now and then, but mostly I won't be talking as I did in the previous meditation. So take your posture, your seat and legs, torso, your hands, eyes, and mouth. When I hit the gong, just have a sense of your mind relaxing outward with the breath. when you label thinking, this is an opportunity to cultivate unlimited friendliness. So if you find that the tone of voice is harsh or judgmental, you can just lighten up and change that. You can even say thinking a second time if necessary, with a more compassionate and humorous, gentle attitude. So each time you say thinking, each time you acknowledge, it's an opportunity to cultivate an unbiased and gentle attitude. So watch out for that. If it's harsh, just lighten up. If it's critical, just soften. If there's a sense of struggle, relax with it. And also with the out-breath, sense of gentleness and relaxation with the out-breath. The out-breath isn't like a rock or an image of some kind that you're trying to hold your mind on. It's not actually a concentration practice. The breath is very fluid. Breath is always moving and changing. And it dissolves. So there's just awareness to go out with the out-breath. Sense of just being with that breath as it goes out, rather than tightness, some kind of concentration or sense of the breath being a thing. The breath isn't really a thing. It's more like wind or space. It just goes out and dissolves. It's like mist. So gentle out-breath, gentle labeling, just coming back with a gentle, compassionate attitude, cultivating unlimited friendliness towards whatever might arise in your mind. So Maitri, or this unlimited friendliness, is like creating an atmosphere conducive to growth. When there's an atmosphere of unlimited friendliness, this seed of bodhicitta, this spark of bodhicitta will grow. So that's to say that the capacity that we all have to love and care for each other will grow, and this growing realization of the open, unlimited quality of our being, that realization will grow. But without the warmth and basic friendliness, things tend to dry up and shrivel and freeze, and their potential is not realized. I was emphasizing in the last sitting period the quality of Maitri, or unlimited friendliness, quality of gentleness and relaxation. In this sitting period, I'd like to emphasize the quality of discipline. That is to say that this practice is actually a technique. We just don't sit here and do nothing. There's instructions that we are given. And these instructions could become harsh if it wasn't for the atmosphere of unlimited friendliness. But combined with that, they become the means by which we really, the growth can occur. And in fact, this technique brings out the quality of precision of our mind, the clarity of our mind, the ability of our mind to calm down, to become tamed, the ability of our mind to see clearly and precisely and to know what is. And that's actually a quality of Maitri. Very, very clear seeing. Clearly seeing all that we do and say and think, but with an environment of unlimited friendliness. So this quality of discipline, the quality of precision in the technique, being faithful to the instructions, this is very important. So to the best of our ability, each time we sit down, we just do our best. And sometimes there's certain things that you could expect to experience as a meditator. And one is drowsiness. Another is restlessness, physical and mental restlessness. Another is wild mind. It's just like the ocean during the storm. As well as feelings of well-being, the mind unexpectedly feeling calm and settled. In other words, we sit like a white birch tree through all kinds of weather, and we learn to stay open to whatever is happening without deceiving ourselves. We clearly see what's happening. Wild mind, negative mind, joyful mind, drowsiness, can't stop beating up on myself, whatever it might be. We see it clearly with an atmosphere of unlimited friendliness, but this clear seeing is very important. So this precision of mind, this clarity of mind, is brought out by the technique. So that is to say, we have an object of meditation, which is the out-breath, a very fluid, open-ended, very alive and changing object of meditation. But we always come back. This is a very important part of the instruction. To the best of your ability, just come back. When you find yourself caught in endless thinking and you realize that, just come back. In some way, that's the main instruction of this practice, is just come back. Again and again and again and again. Doesn't matter how many times, just come back. So in this period, be as faithful as you can to the technique. Some people say, well, I can either be faithful or I can be gentle. But combining those two, I have not mastered. So welcome to the human race. But it's delightful to know that we're given a technique that does combine these two things, and that gradually, at its own pace over time, we can combine them. And then that will spread into your whole life, that you can do things with precision, clarity, gentle discipline, being right there, but with an atmosphere of warmth and friendliness, compassion. So, be with each out-breath as best as you can. Label your thoughts, thinking as best as you can. Just continue to come back again and again as best as you can. That's actually good enough. As best as you can is good enough. Just make that effort to do that. Part of the discipline is training and finding your balance between not too tight and not too loose. Sometimes we get too harsh, and then we can lighten up. Sometimes we find that we just are sitting here not even applying the technique at all, and then we could tighten up. So you find your own balance. It's completely personal and individual, and no one else can do it for you. So finding the balance between not too tight and not too loose. The basic instruction, the basic discipline is to be with the breath as it goes out. When you realize you've been thinking, to label the thoughts thinking and come back. But in the process of doing that, be training in not too tight and not too loose, finding your balance. You don't have to judge yourself when you find yourself too tight. It's just a sign that you could lighten up. You don't have to judge yourself when you find yourself, by your own estimation, too loose. It's just a sign that you could tighten up. So I have stressed the quality of gentle mind, compassionate mind, the mind of Maitri. And then in the second sitting, I stressed the disciplined mind, the precise mind, the mind that can see clearly. And this time I would like to have us emphasize the non-grasping mind, the open mind, the mind that finds its capacity, its actually inherent capacity to let go and relax into its true nature. So that's to say, while we're sitting with the out-breath, that's training in relaxing our grip, just relaxing outward with the out-breath, relaxing our mind outward with the out-breath. We have the attention on the out-breath, but you begin to get the sense of your whole being just relaxing outward with the breath, opening your mind, letting your mind open and just let go. Not like holding on to that out-breath, but opening, letting go. And then when the thoughts arise, acknowledging them, touching them, and then letting them go. Just relaxing your grip on those thoughts and emotions and letting them go. So sometimes this seems impossible, but nevertheless, we just realize we are just training. We're bringing out this potential of our mind and our whole being to open and let go, to connect with what is limitless in our being. So I think at the simplest level, I keep using this word relax, but this is somewhat the key. And this is something that doesn't seem so philosophical or, spiritual. You just relax with the out-breath, relax the thoughts, relax your grip on the thoughts, your obsession with the thoughts, relax your obsession. So gentle mind, disciplined mind, non-grasping mind. These are qualities of our being and the qualities of bodhicitta. So let's practice this way. Practice in letting go. And if you find yourself saying, I can't do this, let that thought go. If you find yourself saying, hey, I'm doing pretty good, let that thought go.
This concludes Session 2 of Noble Heart with Pema Chödrön. Chödrön.